And we're back. These damn raccoons. I've never had a raccoon problem around these parts. And I don't want to dissuade any business owners to be coming downtown because of these raccoons, but I think we figured it out. So SPCA, don't worry. I know we do a lot of stuff with one another. They're in protective custody, and they'll be released after the show because we can't have any more of these.
No raccoons were harmed in the making of this production.
Seriously.
No. Jesse does need to stop trying to get them as pets too. Like it's the main
They're
issue
so
here.
cute though. So while Sam, no, I'm not going to make a joke on that front. Well, Sam shares it to the Downtown Kamloops page, which you all should go and check out, Downtown Kamloops. They got great social media. Whoever's managing their social media is doing a fantastic job. So check them out. On the, well, you know, we talked about development. A lot of great things happening there.
Yeah.
Big shout out to the Hive. I'm looking forward to that, amongst all the other great developments happening downtown.
Yeah.
We have other internal projects to Downtown Kamloops.
We do.
Tell me about something you got going on, Carl.
Wow. Where do we start? There's always projects going on with our team. Typically this time of the year, throughout the whole summer, we would have been jam-packed downtown promoting and executing different events, parties, block parties, sidewalk sales.
You're bringing a tear to my eye here,
I know.
Carl.
You know, and then the Hot Night in the City would have been the 26th anniversary, and not our event. It's one we support. Same with the Rib Fest. We support. It's not ours, but it's all things downtown. This, however, is not a year where those things could happen.
Nope.
And you know what? We really appreciate the understanding and acceptance that we've received from our consumers, our community, and our businesses. And you know, we weren't sure what to expect when this first happened, if they were, because it was pretty quiet when the pandemic first hit. And you know, there was a lot of sad stories out there for you know, with a lot of frustration and apprehension about what was going to happen. And we expected that we were going to be bombarded with requests to, let's get everybody downtown the way we usually do what we do best, and throw events and bring thousands of people down. But Dr. Bonnie Henry doesn't want us to do that. We don't want to do that. The priority right now is a balanced priority, and at the top of that list is everybody's health, because we need to be healthy going forward.
Yep.
And as a downtown business community, we are doing everything we can, and we are open. We're continuing. We've stayed open for a couple months now, but we are open with care. And by that, we appreciate and understand that you, as the consumers, wanting to come down here and enjoy all things downtown, whether it's retail or eating, drinking, or whatever it happens to be, we understand there's some apprehension and some concern about your well-being. And we do understand. We're concerned about our own well-being. And we have done, as a business community, everything we can to educate ourselves, our business colleagues, and take all steps that we're aware of to ensure the health and safety of every one of you and every one of us, whether it's physical distancing, all of the things that we've been hearing for the last couple of months. And if you go into any of the businesses downtown, you will very quickly appreciate how respectful they are of you, your comfort level, and everything that is required to make sure that we can do that, whether it's hand sanitizers, masks, which I have mine right here, and I was wearing when I came in, but Sam and I are sitting closer together because we do work daily together, where we're in the bubble. You two characters are a little bit farther away, but that's still okay. And the Open with Care strategy that we've been marketing is an initiative to try and restore some consumer confidence, so that when people come downtown, they do feel safe, and they do. I'm out downtown all the time talking to people, and I hear their appreciation, and they recognize the efforts that our businesses have taken. Simple things that we worked with the city on, for example, would be the patios, the extended patios, to provide extended space outside to allow physical distancing while enjoying a beverage or a meal, and that initiative is going to continue until the end of October. And
rock and roll.
Yeah, it is. So That's just one of a few initiatives, but it's at the top of the list because it's important that our city, our community, recognizes that we are still open. We're open with care, but please support your downtown.
Yeah.
And it's going to sound like I'm stealing a punchline from Sam, the marketing side, but here's the reality, folks. The downtown core is the heart of our city. This is small business. This is mom and pop, and supporting them supports your community, supports you, because these folks down here, they employ your kids, your grandkids. They might even employ you. They are generating opportunities for people to reinvest in our community and build a healthier, stronger downtown and overall community. You know, they're paying taxes and all of those things that they do everywhere in the city as well. But downtown is absolutely vital, and we need your support down here to keep these businesses going. There's a lot of troubled stories. I'm not going to lie, and beat around the bush. And if you can imagine going from very strong, we were having such a great revenue year or years downtown.
Things were looking good on the books.
They really were. And then this pandemic hit us, and things came to a grinding halt for a while. And if you can imagine being responsible as a business owner for employees, for inventory, for suppliers, for rent or your lease, whatever it is, your mortgage, and have no revenue or little revenue. And it's not a sob story isolated to downtown. I mean, this is going on all over our world. But please appreciate that this downtown community is doing everything they can to restore confidence so that you'll come back and support them. And, yeah.
100%. Well, you touched on way too many things there, Carl. My brain was like, okay, I'm going to address that. But yeah. I'll work retroactively because my brain can only do so much. And I think the last thing you said there was supporting local, and that's like a tagline that we all can appreciate, like supporting local. It sounds good. It's all really meaningful in your head, but habits do need to change. And the $5 that you're saving on Amazon, like, is going to make a massive difference in someone's life when it comes to a business owner locally.
It absolutely is. And when you're supporting local, this is bricks before clicks. Bricks before clicks.
Nice.
And I've said that many times, and I was adamant. I drew the line in the sand before pandemic. And now during the pandemic, I also appreciate that we need to be flexible as businesses downtown and look at alternate ways to deliver our goods and services. And you know what? Clicks are there now. Clicks are right up there, but they're specific to our downtown.
100%.
Yeah.
And I will say, this isn't just to like consumers or like the general population, right? Like what I've seen a huge change in is the amount of businesses that we've worked with that typically had gone. They've been working with businesses in Vancouver, businesses all over Canada, the U.S., even internationally, and some of our favorite businesses have taken a look at what they're doing and like, why would I be pouring money into that? Not necessarily that community, but like a business that is obviously doing well enough to be international, to be really all over the place, when I could be asking someone locally that's going to make a huge difference. And to us, as like a local business, it has allowed us to bring, you know, new people into the mix. Like we have, I don't know, five young interns in the mix that would we need the lights on to be able to bring them in, and they are going to be future employees. Like it's going to matter in a massive way, and having these larger organizations look more internally has made a huge difference because they have the budgets. They're looking at us and saying like, that money matters, and we're sitting here saying thank you for noticing. Like we not only can bring in these young interns, but you know, we have a supporting cast that we want to employ. We want to give them work, and
thank you for doing that.
We're trying, but it really comes down to the business the business community, the organizations out there, and the rest of beautiful Kamloops supporting locally, because those dollars get reallocated. And Louise knows this, I'm a huge spender in a lot of ways, but very rarely does it land on my whatever. It's usually to build infrastructure to make more opportunity happen. So when people are investing in us, it's going to families, it's going to young people, and that's meaningful to me. So
Absolutely, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I would like to appreciate not only the Kamloops community but the businesses too, because during this time we've launched 2 digital campaigns. One is Downtown to Go, and we also have a non-event, Taste of Downtown, which has really seen a lot of growth. It has changed, it has evolved in the past years. When we look at Taste of Downtown, it was a one-day event wherein people would come down and visit all the restaurants and have sample-sized food, but obviously we couldn't do that this year. So we changed the entire event to a month-long event, Taste of Downtown now.
Taste of Downtown, Jeremy, are you on that? Oh yeah, bud. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because that was a huge hit in previous years, right?
Huge hit, yes. We had so many people come down, and even now we have a passport, and businesses have given back, even though they have a lot of challenges in terms of employees, in terms of financials. They have given back a lot to the community.
Yeah.
Maybe just share one of the stories that you were telling me about with Papa G.
Yeah. Papa G is a local business. As you know, he's a favorite of everybody in downtown. Everybody knows him.
He's a huge hit, isn't he?
Yes.
Papa, I got to meet Papa G because he was uptown for some time.
Gerald,
Wasn't
he was just a couple blocks away from here, still downtown, but
But
just
was
off
he
the main-
not
I think he
uptown
was,
beforehand?
and then
I think he was in
2018
Sahali,
he
yeah.
moved
Gerald, if you're
downtown.
watching, give us a call, would you, and clarify some of these things.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he was up in Sahali. He had like a crazy following. Jeremy, you have something to say here? No. Oh. Yeah, I think he was uptown. He came downtown and then he relocated
Yeah,
just to the old Agostino's, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. Tell
And
me about this.
He's been doing a lot of giveaways, helping a lot of people in need in terms of food. But he also raised over $900 for somebody for an accessible home. So
Wow.
that even in this time where he has a lot of challenges, he
Yeah.
has to maybe get a few more employees because of how the business is working, functioning right now.
Right.
He's still giving back to the community.
Heart of gold.
Respect. What's his name?
Gerald.
Gerald.
Papa G.
Papa G, Gerald, we appreciate you. Respect. So, okay, Taste of Downtown, what does that look like? Because we're almost at the end of it, right?
Yes, it is. 31st of August would be the end of it. We've given away so many giveaways. Every week we give away more than 10 giveaways from the business.
I noticed. I actually, obviously, I have zero cash flow to get in on anything at this point because I'm trying to keep my lights on. But I was seeing the amount of giveaways and I was really regretting
it's
not
amazing.
being a part of that because you're not joking when it comes to
Yeah.
businesses giving back for the sake of this.
It's all been it came about really soon because we didn't have much time in terms of turnover for the event, but we knew we had to do something for the businesses and get people downtown, especially because of the patios.
Right.
And we've had a lot of people buy into the passport because not only is it giving back to the businesses, but half of whatever we raise goes to the Kamloops Food Bank.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, and as you've referenced in years past, always it's been a single day, few hour event. You'd come down, and
It's a
you would
proper
sprint.
crawl, isn't it?
Yeah, you'd sprint from location to location, hoping you arrived really hungry so that you could gorge.
Right.
This year, the feedback that we've been receiving is extremely appreciative. People have got full month to come down as often, as frequent as they would like to enjoy the same opportunities at each of the restaurants, and it's gone over very, very well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Louise, you got something to say? Richie, would you mind turning on the AC here? It's cooking up.
I will do that.
Thanks, dude.
Perfect.
Is that because I'm full of hot air or what?
Oh, you know what? So far, you're pretty good, Carl.
No, something I appreciate from what you were saying is the fact that Kamloops is the heart of downtown. A lot of what I see is like the bigger business that end up employing and do all these things. Also, their money spent here, as Jesse said, is what, from the service side of point, as from all the little store, from food, from like doing all those things is what changes, and
Absolutely. We could go just looking out your window at these businesses and talk about the business owners. We could talk about the staff and many cases where they live and what they do when they're not working and how they give back, whether they go to the Blazers games, whether you'll find somebody working in the barber shop and they'll end up in a pub one night. They support each other. The business-to-business relationships, I think, in many ways have enhanced over the last couple of months, perhaps because of COVID.
Yeah.
Everybody wanting to, really hold on to that circle of friends per se, and it's really benefiting them because they're recommending, if you can't find what you're looking for in one particular business, you're recommending your friend down the street.
Yeah.
It's like Miracle on 34th Street. It's Miracle on Victoria Street, right?
No doubt.
It's the same scenario, but it is so wonderful to see. And, we've had different webinars that Samantha has set up, and it is really...
And Jesse was one of them.
And Jesse, you
I was
were.
on
That's
there
right.
flapping my gums for sure.
And the business engagement, it's a great opportunity for the businesses to learn, lessons learned from their colleagues, business colleagues, share lessons learned, ideas, and just meet people they haven't met, because we're doing these things on a social media platform. Am I allowed to say which one? I mean, it's obvious. Everybody does the same thing. Zoom. Everybody Zooms.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what Zoom was, and I know it's in my vocabulary. But, it's just wonderful to see. And the relationships are just so strong down here. We are really a cool little community.
Yeah,
And that's something I've seen actually from an entrepreneur's perspective, seeing the businesses that have been okay throughout this whole process, how much more they've spent downtown. Like, I've talked to some business owners, like they eat out every single night of the week just because they know what's going on. Like if their bottom line is hurting, there are particular industries that hurt more than others, right? Their margins are a lot less and they have to work a lot harder to get what they're getting. So I couldn't agree more. Like the business community has really come together. The last episode we had Far and Wide and Crooked Crown. We had like relatively established couple boss babes, like totally killing it and completely embracing Emily on the Crooked Crown front, and they're on the same block. In retail, again, another tough business, but they're supporting one another, and we need that more than ever. And when I'm saying this, ladies and gentlemen, I mean it. Like, your dollar that you're spending on Amazon, if you spend that downtown, it could mean that business staying alive and
bringing back the employees. Like,
and
you see
exactly.
a lot of them have brought over 80% of the employees back.
Yeah.
They make
Right.
sure of that.
No, and something that I also see is like there might not be a lot of movement between one city to another one yet, or international traveling coming through, but staying open and doing all these things is what is going to keep all of those ones that in a year or in two are going to be coming through. Is like if we keep on adding into bringing that money, keeping that money in Kamloops, that's what in the future will benefit everyone.
Well, and that's another really good comment. You're talking about the international traveler and tourism.
Exactly.
And just because of this COVID again, this isn't all doomsday, folks. Things are going to get better. They really are. But we're not going to avoid these issues. We'll just talk about them. But you look at one of our great partners, and that's Rocky Mountaineer.
Yep.
And they drop a gift on downtown's shoulders every day from April until October, and to the tune of just over 100,000 people. And you know what? Those people, tourists from all over the world, international tourists, they come downtown, they're dropped here, and they spend their money. They're going to our restaurants. They're going to the retailers that are open, and that's been completely cut off this year. They're spending money in our hotels. Right, that's gone because of the current situation that we're all facing. And you look at the economic impact that has had on just our community alone. It is huge, and you never really truly appreciate things until they're gone.
No doubt.
And now we're having a lot of conversations like, where are they and how are we going to make up these shortfalls? Well, I can assure you folks, if you're watching overseas or wherever you're watching from and you're going to be on Rocky Mountaineer, you are more than welcome to come back to our community, and we look forward to doing what we can to make your visit the best ever. And we are a wonderful location, so come on back.
Nice. That was nice. We're going to take that. That's shoppable there, Carl. That's why they pay you the big bucks there, but Anything on that?
No, just
You're good?
it was really well said.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. So, what does winter look like? You know?
That's a tough question.
That's a tough question.
Crystal ball. Take your crystal ball out and tell them a story.
Yeah, if you could, Sam.
I think it's
We're still in a bit of a challenging situation because by now we would typically be making aggressive plans, marketing plans for whether it's events or just different marketing strategies to demonstrate how we are a welcoming community downtown and get people down here. We don't know what the next few months is going to look like. We just don't know. I think this is a shared responsibility. It's on all of us.
Yeah.
If every one of us, me, Sam, you two characters, and everybody watching us, if we behave ourselves, and we can get the number get the trending going back down, we're going to have a much more energetic, positive winter.
Yeah.
If, however, things go the opposite way, we're going to have to look forward to a little bit of a setback again, and I really don't want to see that.
Which is
Nobody
no
wants
fun in the winter either.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, there's one thing to be in your backyard when it's nice out, but if you can't go in your backyard and it's not nice out.
Absolutely. So you can look forward to downtown continuing with some conversations, marketing conversations, promotion, reinforcing that we are still open with care. We are. Specifically, what does that look like? That's a Samantha initiative. But it's early, and we're just waiting for Dr. Bonnie Henry. Have you had her on here? Dr. Bonnie Henry, come on down. You're invited.
If you could.
Yeah.
Huge fans.
Big fan.
Yeah.
But we're waiting for her direction. And, I was just recently traveling Lower Mainland and went over to the island. And bigger city, bigger challenges. And I was somewhat surprised at some of the things I saw. Some areas of, and this isn't a hit at all. This is not a hit. This is reality. Vancouver, a place I love to go to visit. Typically busy areas around the boardwalk and the seawall. I don't want to say ghost town because that's not really an accurate analogy, but it was completely underpopulated with foot traffic and vehicle traffic.
Yeah.
There was no rush hour. It was quiet. That's not the Vancouver I know. And I don't think they want to be in that condition or that situation either.
I think you look downtown and for the most part, people are respecting one another's space. They're doing
Very
things
much
right.
so.
And I will say there are particular markets in Canada that have kind of screwed that up, right? Like people have gone out, they've partied, they've hung out in ridiculously large groups, and they've kind of screwed it for themselves. And every day, I just hope that we don't do that, because when things get locked down and you're not allowed to go out, then we're going to really see some really terrible things happen. And that's coming from me, who runs a DJ company that primarily services 100 to 150 or more people. And so I'm at the mercy of people just doing the right thing at this point. So
I think events has changed, and the way things will happen in the future is not going to stay the same.
it's not the same.
The virtual is going to be a big part of every event that we see, and you know that you do events.
We're doing it. You've
Right
since
now,
day
too.
one. Since Sam was in university, she's always supported live streaming. She was like,
Jessie.
she was the first. Actually, I got a huge shout out to Sam here, because we were doing live stream where we had particular partners that were totally into it and believed in it and knew the value. And when I brought it up to Sam, like, well, what else? Great question. What else do you offer? And that's like my favorite question, because I'm like, well, we have no shortage of things. And you were like, yes, yes, and yes. And here we are. You can see technology hasn't been too kind to us. It's still a challenge, but
It's a learning curve, yeah.
respect to you majorly for embracing the new, because you in university were saying live streaming is going to be a big thing, and here we are. Live streaming has never been as big as it is right now. So respect to you, Sam.
Thank you.
And respect to Downtown Kamloops for hiring Sam as well. I
Thank
think
you,
that was a
Bob.
great that was a great hire there. Don't know who did that, but that was good. Yeah.
Great choice. They were the best choice.
Yeah, and talking about events, Christmas, as you say, winter is
Yep.
one of the biggest events that we do, the Santa Parade that I touched on before. And this year is supposed to be the 40th Santa Parade.
40th.
40th annual
Damn.
anniversary. Yeah.
So
So yeah, first of all, kids, Santa Claus is coming to town.
yes,
Yes. Yes, he
I
is.
thought you were about to break my heart there. I was going to lose my
He
shit.
is coming to town. What that looks like for downtown has yet to be decided, but you can certainly look forward to a different type of Christmas atmosphere in downtown Kamloops. That's all I can say because that's all we
Oh,
know.
you're holding people. Wow.
Right.
Can't wait to hear this, Carl. Can't wait to see what you have locked and cocked, bud.
Sam's got the ideas.
Oh,
They're
yeah, Sam.
great. They're
just
great.
announced on this.
Yeah, it's here live.
What did
I
you-
appreciate that. I appreciate that. I will say I'm going to take 2 steps back because with the Open with Care, I think what you as an organization have done a really incredible job at is feeding businesses with information because, I mean, we make a point of not having a lot of foot traffic up here. We have our bubble. We're creative. We do our own thing, and we have no reason to have that foot traffic. But
Right.
I will say that the reason why so many businesses are open and doing the right things and paying attention to their customers is because of the information that you guys have sent down the pipe. And Carl, to you specifically, how much information you feed businesses day to day is incredible, and we appreciate that even from a studio that has locked doors full time. So
Well, thank you for saying that. And our role has changed somewhat because of the pandemic. And we're not here to regurgitate the news. You want news, you can surf social media, you can watch TV, listen to the
it's
radio.
there everywhere you need it.
Absolutely. But information that is of extreme value to our business community, that is where we've been focusing our energy, trying to communicate that to you, to all of our stakeholders downtown so that we can move forward and hopefully everybody's getting what they need to get out of it.
They're definitely getting that. And if you're thinking of coming downtown, opening up a business, I didn't know this existed before I came down. You know, Dino, I've DJ'd for his place forever, and he's like, you know, he fed me the right information. I found this place, super pumped, and then just so happens there is an organization that is fully committed to like the success of downtown. And that was a weird idea to me because I've always been just do it by myself. I got this figured out. I'm going to do it. But to have that, people to bounce ideas off, people to ask questions to, so
people.
incredibly thankful for you guys. And for anyone thinking about opening up a business, surprisingly now is a really great time.
It really
All
is.
things considered, like it is
Well,
a great time.
And you know what? A bit of a plug for the downtown community and the confidence that we've seen. Last calendar year, the new businesses that were introduced downtown went up 33%.
Holy smokes.
33. Remarkable.
thing.
Remarkable. And it is a good time. I mean, there's lots of opportunity, and with the new developments that we've addressed and more that we haven't addressed, there is a lot of opportunity. And we are going to navigate our way through this. We are. Make no bones about it. It's just going to be a little bit of a few more bumps ahead of us, and we're going to get out of it.
Respect.
Yeah.
Louise, you got a question for these folks? You've been awfully quiet because I've been cutting you off all
All night, yeah. No, I actually been appreciating everything because like you guys you have more insights than me. So, no, it's been a good experience on the learning side. There is I do appreciate. I know a little bit of what you guys do. Being involved in a few things. We did Summer League last year, and
That
yeah,
was
it's
such a
impressive
big
what you
event.
guys
That was
do.
such a success.
Yeah.
We were looking forward to this year, big time. But hopefully next year we can bring it back stronger than ever. We have, again, to the point of supporting us, like it has come down to, it's coming down to dollars and cents and getting through this. I can't tell you, I mean, the supportive staff, not staff, the dudes in the background here that are dope as hell that make things happen. We have like a huge team of people just so ready to help us build what is
Well, and
going
Jesse,
to be.
the different things that you do, you've got very diverse operations and things that you do here. I mean, I just look around this place, and I've been hanging out here occasionally every now and then with some of the things that you've created, whether it's photography, video, the music videos, these that DJ setup you've got over there. I
Yep.
mean, that's amazing, and the events that you've facilitated. You're a creative guy. You've got a creative team, and I think I just can't say enough about what you do in your end product. So
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
We're jumping on that, and Monday we have a
Monday? Oh, yeah.
we have a new podcast coming out.
Podcast is coming out. A podcast, it's hilarious how timing works, but sometimes it works in your favor. And on Monday, we've got a podcast in business. So it's in business podcast, in being interior business. And the first guest is yours truly, Carl, over here, saying all the right things. If you're into business, if you're into hearing a little bit more of what's going on and really a look from the executive director of Downtown Kamloops perspective, that's going to be, thanks for plugging that. That's a great little plug. Yeah, I appreciate that.
It's almost like the watching the Nature Channel. They have theme weeks, like a Shark Week or something. So it's Carl Week next week in
Carl
Downtown
Week.
Kamloops.
Oh, that's great marketing. We can build something around
Yeah,
that.
no, and I want to say you did great on the podcast, and you have a good voice for it. I
You do have a
appreciate
great podcast
it.
voice.
You have a
actually.
great podcast
Yeah.
voice, and
Well,
so
like I
stay tuned because
Like I
Stay
said, this
tuned.
is just
It
a
was
fun
really-
place to hang out. So.
Well, anytime.
But,
You know the doors are open.
Speaking of great voices, like I know Sam wanted to do her karaoke thing, didn't you?
Is this your moment, Sam?
My karaoke voice at home.
No. One thing I did want you to talk about, because you received that feedback, and it's our CAP team.
Yeah.
And
Oh, you beat me
received-
to it. I was going to say the cap team. I was coming in hot. I had a whole opener ready.
You go first.
You go for
okay.
it. Do it. You can,
So
you can
I-
delete me later.
I'm such a huge fan of the cap team. For those of you that don't know, the cap team are the people walking around, red hats, red shirts. You can't miss them when they're walking downtown. As a business owner, I can't tell you how many times it's comforting to see them walking down the back alleys, and not in a security way. Like, they're walking around making sure that people are okay.
Relationships.
Naturally, we have a vulnerable population in Kamloops. They're walking around wearing more hats than I am on any given day, and I'm such a huge fan. We've actually had a couple of the CAP members in the studio, because they're not just like wearing the CAP team hat, but they are students, they're family members, they're doing a million other things and leading really powerful lives. And so what I was going to open up with, the CAP team, tell the people that don't know about them, because I'm a huge fan and people should know about what they do.
Yeah. So the CAP team are customer care ambassadors.
Okay. That
That's
I
what
didn't
CAP
know.
stands for.
All right. We're learning something on this.
And like you guys already touched on it, they do so much. They not only interact with the businesses and the vulnerable population, but they also help us with everything that you see. Social media, delivering stuff. If you go on our website, you can see how many kilometers they've biked, how many steps they've walked. There's all
A couple of
that
them are looking pretty
information.
fit too. Like, a couple of them are pretty jacked as well. I know John's walking around looking like a tank. I'm
Shouts
I'm
out
impressed.
to Brooke, who works.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, they know Brooke. Like, that's the captain.
I don't know how big and deep that stuff is. So I'm learning it firsthand right now. So.
Yeah. So Brooke is one of the
One of the
lovely
awesome
human
CAP team
beings.
members,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
And we have a few of them. We recently had a feedback. They have to deal with a lot of people who are irritable. They are on the front end of everything most of the time. And we had just somebody who wrote to us who wanted to appreciate them and said that, I witnessed an instance where they were really getting it bad, but they kept their cool. They were very calm, and they understood what that person was going through, and they tried to resolve that issue.
Right.
Very
Yeah.
touched on it.
You know, and from my perspective, Dad, I'm just so proud of them. Like, I really am. You know, we've just got such a great group, and it's coming to the end for 6 of them. They'll be done within a week and heading off to university again, and returning to. We've got one character, Lucas. He'll be going back to Ottawa, and you know, you get to know them, and you look at the relationships that they develop between one another, and the teasing that goes on in there, and it's just like their office is like a frat house many
It's
times.
a great
I mean,
culture.
yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Memes they make about Carl.
Oh yeah, they pick on me all the
What?
time. Oh,
How
yeah.
am I not in
I
that
know.
loop? I got to get in that loop.
But you know what? This was an interesting year because many of the duties that they typically would get involved with, they weren't getting involved
Right.
with the events and tourism because they're strong tourism ambassadors as well, welcoming people downtown. But you know, we're going to miss them. But we have some they'll be staying with us again through the fall, and perhaps next summer some of them will return after their next year of university. But it's a great opportunity for those of you who are looking for career opportunities. Here's another commercial. But
Let's send
boy,
it,
oh,
Carl.
boy. If you're looking,
Oh yeah, I was gonna say the CAP team. Not only do you have an incredible environment, great people working there, you also get to share office with these 2 lovely characters. So you always refer to me as a
One
character.
lovely
It's, hey,
There's one more lovely character who's recently joined us.
yes, Christine. Yeah,
Christine. I know.
that's right.
Oh, don't get me started with Christine. I'm another huge fan here. But back to our ad, quickly.
Back to the ad.
Back to the ad. CAP team, summer work, incredible group. You're out in the mix. Like, they really get to see the downtown.
And you look at the skill set that you develop as a CAP team member, whether you want to become somebody in the marketing field, in business, in finance, in tourism, in policing, in corrections. It's not an enforcement job or experience, but it gives you incredible skills dealing with people. And dealing with people without authority, that's a really strong tool to have
No doubt.
when you develop that.
No doubt.
And communication skills and doing presentations. And when you look at our alumni, the people who have been part of the team and where they've gone now, we've got some incredible stories, you know, and I'm just so proud of all of them. I don't know, obviously, for those who came before me, don't know who they are other than reading their bios, but the CAP team members that I've got to know, they're wonderful. I'm proud of them, and I'm really honored to work with them and receive the feedback, unsolicited, that we receive about them. And I do refer them to them as characters. I mean, they make me laugh. You guys make me laugh, so you're characters.
Okay. I appreciate that. So if you're looking for a great summer job or extended that has great experience, CAP team.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like it's a job posting that comes up every summer.
It does.
They're needed.
Sometimes a little more often because, you know, we've gone through phases where they get poached. I mean, CAP team's not a career. It's a great training ground.
Yeah.
And imagine that. They actually get a job that they wanted or a career they wanted during the summer. We're not here to hold anybody back.
No.
What a great problem to have. We're losing a CAP team member because they've got a career in a field they were pursuing. So,
Yeah.
so we've had a few situations where we've had to recruit midsummer or in the fall. We're happy to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're happy.
So if that sounds like a cool thing, stay tuned to Downtown Kamloops.
Absolutely.
Facebook page, website. Cool. Website, not Facebook page. You got something there?
I don't know if you're gonna get to it, but
No, I don't know.
Well, we have our friend JP Lancaster. We're talking about events.
Oh,
And
thank you. That was not on this list, but something. Events, a very rare occurrence, but this is a 2-parter. JP Lancaster runs Factotum. He is a prolific artist and maker of events. He played his role in Brew Loops, helped with all of their artist essentially management, making sure their artist lineups were super cool. He helped us with Summer League, with our artist lineup. He also was part of one of the early COVID live streams. We live streamed a entire performance. It was like a really cool podcast / live performance here in the studio. One of the early movers on live streaming, embracing it, and obviously we know what to do when it comes to live streaming. So he's a part of that. He is at the Wildlife Park this weekend, this Saturday actually. So very rare opportunity to see live music out and about, and the Wildlife Park actually has a setup that facilitates that. So Jeremy finally gets to do something on that end. He's going to post the links to tickets. There's still some available. Tonight was Henry Small, who was also actually in the studio. We recorded a bunch of music videos for him here in the studio. He was on tonight. Were you going to say something there, Carl?
I was just going to say, any old Prism tunes?
No, it was all live on the fly. He is quite the artist, I got to say. He knows how to run a tight ship. We're blessed in that front. Being creatively driven, we're not necessarily stacking the dough over here, but we get to see some incredibly talented human beings, and he's been one of them. He was part of a live stream podcast that we also recorded. That's not out yet, but I don't know if I should have said that, but he was tonight. There's live music this weekend at the Wildlife Park. You got to check that out. Tickets are available. JP also has a single coming out tomorrow. So you need to check that out as well. I don't know if Richie's on this. No, he's completely given up on putting photos on. But Jeremy's going to put it in the links to Spotify. JP, we love you. We appreciate your support. JP has always found ways to get grants and feed the music community here locally, all while utilizing us for content creation.
So important to support the arts in all regards, but yet it's so important. And we have got such a lively arts community here.
It's unbelievable. So all the more reason, for the love of God, ladies and gentlemen, support local, because... Oh, you did? You made it happen. Which one did he throw up there?
He's on his hand with the construction.
Yes. So that's a good photo. Hey, yeah. Shout out to Stacy Crollo, who was it passed Ninth Lab Studio Amiga here. She takes incredibly good photos. Another support local. You need a photographer. There's no shortage of talent locally. So Stacy, shout out. JP, shout out. I appreciate your appreciation for that. That's a good photo. That's like that is development meets arts in the most raw of states. It's a beautiful thing. Any last words on this front?
Looking on the screen over here, what kind of beer is that you guys are drinking?
Okay, so I have the Iron Road. I know, Carl, you're really next. I'm sorry. Usually we had, the taps running full throttle. We're trying to cut down on the calories over here, trying to figure out our lives. But yeah, we got Iron Road and Red Color. Actually, you can tell by the glassware.
Can everybody see that? Or
No,
is it just us?
that's just us.
So what you're missing out on is these two characters enjoying what looks like delicious beer.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was our old setup for society.
Yeah, that was the early stages. One of the first episodes. You can tell because we're live streaming and we don't know that we're live streaming at that point. So we'll put that. Maybe Jeremy can link that episode. Shout out to Iron Road. Shout out to Red Collar. Yeah. 2 other breweries that you got to support.
Yeah.
No shortage of new things coming around.
Red Collar is awesome because they allow pets too.
Pets on the patio, 100%.
And before you shut down, I would just like to put out an offer and a request to any of you out there listening, whether you're local or you're from overseas. If you have any thoughts, any feedback about our downtown, call us. We're easy to find. I'm Carl. This is Samantha. You can find us at Downtown Kamloops. Our website is downtownkamloops.com. And, we're always interested in how people's experiences go downtown, how we can enhance our downtown. And we receive calls frequently from our community, and I welcome them. So if you have thoughts, please call me.
And that's huge. Not a lot of organizations are so open to feedback, but that's the only way you can grow. And we are prolific in the fact that we call each other out and want that
it's important
advice, because how else do you grow? So
it's important.
Take advantage of that. If you don't feel comfortable on the phone calls, you can always slide in their DMs when it comes to Instagram. Samantha's pretty good at answering messages.
47.
24/7. Here we are. I didn't even have to ask them if it's okay for their regular business hours because they're here. That's how much they care, and that's why you're on the show, and we really appreciate having you here.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for being on.
Tons of fun. Look forward to doing it again.
We're going to have you on.
We'll have you again.
Definitely. And I actually just forgot one last ad to send you out. Richie, are you ready with the outro? Oh, he's locked and cocked. We have 2 desks for rent. Speaking of the business community, my partner's mother is on the board of the chamber, and she was talking about how Zoom calls, there's plenty of people that are in their family homes. There's kids running around. Distractions galore. And we actually have 2 desks that just recently came available. They're all well distanced. They're in a nice, quiet environment. So if any of you out there in the business world, because we are talking to Downtown Kamloops, it's business specific, are struggling to get work done, we have very affordable desks in a creative community should you want to tap into that. Otherwise, you're in a room that you won't be bothered in. And I wanted to put that out there because...
Well, and you know what? Not intended as a plug. It'll come across that way. It's kind of fun in this place, actually. I don't know that you're going to actually get any work done, but you're going to have a lot of fun.
So there you go. 2 ways to look at it. You can get work done, or you can have a lot of fun. Thank you, Carl. I appreciate that. Thank you both for being on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah,
See you soon.
You.
See you soon. See you around the downtown. Adios.
It's freezing right now, so I can't turn off a lot.
Jeremy, are you on the outro right now?
Yeah.
Is it done?
If this made you smile, for the love of God, give us a follow and tell a friend.